In this video, we're going to continue practicing solving a system of equations using substitution. This is the third example, so it's going to start to get a little bit more challenging with this problem. So we have two equations, y equals 2x minus 6, and 3x plus 6y equals negative 6. So remember, with substitution, we are taking one thing and putting it in place of another thing so that we can solve for x or solve for y. So both of our equations have both x and y in them. That's our problem. We need to make it so that the equation has only x or only y. So we're going to substitute something in place of one of those letters to make them have all of the same letter. So our first equation is going to be the easier one to tell us what to substitute because it is a y equals equation. It tells us y is the same thing as 2x minus 6. Our second equation isn't as clear. It doesn't say x equals or something or y equals something, but our first equation does, so that's what we're going to use. It tells us anywhere we see y, we can put 2x minus 6. So in my second equation, where I see y, I'm going to write 2x minus 6. So I'm going to rewrite that equation exactly the way it is, but I'm going to put 2x minus 6 in place of y. I kept 2x minus 6 in parentheses because 6y means 6 times y. So my parentheses tell me I still need to multiply. So now I'm going to do the first step in solving, which would be to do that multiplication. This 3x is not going to change yet, so I'm going to rewrite it, bring it down. But I have to distribute this 6 to everything inside the parentheses. So first I'm going to do 6 times 2x, and that gets me a positive 12x. And then I'm going to do 6 times negative 6, which gets me a negative 36. And it still equals negative 6. Next step is going to be to combine my like terms. So I have 3x plus 12x. Altogether, that gets me 15x. It's still minus 36, and it still equals 6. Now I have to get x all alone. So the first thing I want to move from one side to the other is that negative 36. The way I'm going to do that is to be adding 36, because that will cancel that out. If I do that on one side, I have to do that on the other, and I'm left with 15x equals 30. My last step is going to be to divide by 15 to get x all by itself. That will cancel out, and I will be left with x equals 2. So remember, in a system of equations, we are going to write an answer as an ordered pair. So we just figured out our x. We don't know our y yet. We have to figure out our y. So now that we know that x equals 2, we can plug that back into either one of our equations, anywhere we see x, in order to find y. Now, we could use either equation. One is easier to use than the other, and that's the one that already says y equals, because all we're going to have to do is a little multiplication and subtraction, and then we'll have our answer. If you use the second equation, you will still get the same answer. You're just going to be doing a little bit more math to get there. So I'm going to rewrite our first equation, y equals 2x minus 6. But instead of x, I'm going to put 2 because we just solved for x. We found out x was 2. Now we're plugging it back in. And I'm going to keep that minus 6 there. Now I just have to do a little bit of math. So that y equals stays. 2 times 2 is 4. Our minus 6 stays. And then we just have to do 4 minus 6, which gets us negative 2. So our y value is negative 2. So our final answer for this problem is 2, negative 2, meaning x equals 2, and y equals negative 2.